Hi, and welcome to KREW Stories. Hi, Max.
Hello, Mark. How you doing?
Good. Welcome, man. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Are you excited?
Super excited, especially after that got me pumped.
Yeah, all the technical issues before going live today. That's really pumping you up, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, but it's great to have you here, man. Before we start the real show with Max, let me just introduce it for if it's the first time that you're tuning in. Well, as you may have guessed from the description, this is a show all about entrepreneurs that are successful in their own way, and these are their true stories. So, how do they run their business? What are the tools they use? What are certain mindset tips or hacks they have for starting entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs that are already far ahead as well? This is just a look inside their business. And yeah, we could cover many things. It's not supposed to be a long show, but we usually cover at least three things, which is the behind the scenes interview, which we'll start with that. A business tip or hack by Max, which he will demonstrate something for. And I just heard about a blanket, so I'm very curious what that business tip or hack will be. And finally, of course, you can ask us any question as the audience, any question to Max, anything you want to know. So that is it from my side. And then let me introduce Max, because if you don't know this guy yet, well, it's hard because if you follow them on LinkedIn, you'll know all about them because you're quite active, right, on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yeah. We're super active. We're always trying to push the brand at the moment as well, just to get involved with our story.
Yeah, that's cool. And I think also that's a great way because I feel like I'm sort of building the company with you. I'm always seeing what you're up to, and it's really fun. And it's not just you; it's Chingiskhan as well, your co-founder, and of course the whole team. So there's a lot of content.
Yeah.
So definitely follow Bondi if you don't do
Yeah. Good.
that.
Yeah. But
uh, Yeah, and
yeah.
what you do is you have a mobility startup, right? So right now there's electric bikes you put on streets. People can share these bikes using an app, and that's the idea.
Exactly.
Uh,
Yeah. Yes. Electric bike sharing at the moment, but we're trying to expand into more vehicles later on because we're really trying to change the way people move in cities. So we don't believe in ownership of goods like a personal car because it comes with way too many problems. So we really want to change that mindset and have a good offering for that.
that's awesome. I think that's also really needed, and there's I think also from the consumer there's a real need for it right now. I mean, I'm living here in Rotterdam, and the amount of shared vehicles you see on the street is crazy.
Yeah, but it's still not enough because at the moment, as long as you're looking out the window and you see still a lot of cars on the road, there's still room for more shared vehicles. So, well, not necessarily more shared vehicles, but we can be more efficient in having the vehicles ready for you to get to the place where you need to go.
Yeah. So you would say this is only just the beginning of shared mobility that we're seeing.
Yeah, for sure. Because I really think that in 20 years or so, the cities will look completely differently. Like the way we've built cities is completely wrong. Um, there's a big road in the middle of the street, all for the cars. There's parking spaces everywhere where cars are just standing there all day. But that's a real big problem. So this is really just the beginning of shared mobility. It's all going to change in the next few years.
Cool. I'm curious, man. I'm curious where we'll go. But tell me, like, I always see you guys running around doing all sorts of stuff. And yeah, of course, I have an idea of what you guys do. But recently, in just a few months, you went from one city and now you launched in 6 cities, right? So I can imagine that was a very busy period. But having a mobility startup like this, what does a typical day look like for you? Like, what do you do? What are you working on?
Yeah, every day is quite different at the moment, especially like you just said, we went from one city to 6 cities in such a short amount of time. So we still don't have enough people. So every day, we're all just helping out where we can. So even myself, I'm still swapping batteries from time to time. Every so often, I have to go to a different city to to move bikes around just because there's not somebody there at that moment who can do it, and we need to make sure that our vehicle is always operational and ready for the people to use. But also, a lot of my day consists of thinking about the future. So, of course, right now we're in 6 cities, but we would like to expand that to a lot more, and with more vehicles and everything. So, together with my co-founder a lot, we're thinking about what can we do to take the next step. What's the most ideal city for us to go in? How can we be ahead of the competition? And also working our way to being really a company that can sustain itself.
Cool. So what I hear is like in one way, it's really operational still because you're in the early days of your startup. But on the other hand, it's a lot of strategy, a lot of planning for the future, getting ready.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think right now it's still quite operational because we're still building up the team. But of course, the aim is definitely to get more people in so that I don't need to focus on battery swapping or whatever else, and then more can be focused on the planning for the future, making sure there's good structure in the company and that it's running well as well.
Do you have like certain things you do for planning or certain days that you say like, okay, now we're going to do finance or something? Or
I wish it was that structured, but at the moment it's just kind of a little bit by every day. So we do have meetings on a regular basis with the team, or just about financials specifically. But to be honest, every day I kind of just take it how it is. I try to schedule things in, but every day there's a bit of everything. It's not that I have one separate day specifically for this task, be it financials or something else. It varies so much. But I think that's what keeps it fun, to be honest. Every day is exciting because I don't know exactly what it will be. But yeah, this could all change in the future as well.
but how do you then make sure you continue to be on the right track? Like if there's this little structure really in your company, how do you make sure that you do the right things every day?
I think a lot of it is just prioritizing things. So of course there's priority in certain things. At the moment, it's making sure that the vehicles are always live and so on. And so that's also why I'm out there helping out sometimes. But that's also a lot of my time is just making sure that we can have the people there, and then how can we be more efficient in having the swaps and having the bikes in the right places. So I think it's more about prioritizing. So I have a big list of things that I need to do, and then the things that are most important, I tend to like start with those at the beginning of the day, because in the mornings especially I'm way more focused. So then I try to get all the important stuff done, and then all the smaller stuff at the end of the day.
And when do you make that list?
It's continuous, so it's like it's an really. So if I ever think of something even later at night, then I can just add to the list.
And that's a shared list between you and the team, or?
I have a shared one with Chingiskhan, and then I have also one for myself.
Nice, cool. And yeah, we already touched a little bit about on the team, and that you grew quite quickly in a short amount of time. How was that? How is it to suddenly be working with all these people? I think it's almost 20 people that you are with now, right?
Yeah.
How was it to go from just you and Chingiskhan to that group quite quickly?
Yeah, honestly, it's been a really cool ride. I think, yeah, at the beginning it was just me and Chingiskhan, which is good because then you only have 2 people, so you can really make things happen really quickly and kind of discuss any issues that there might be and resolve. And we always try to have a team. So even 2 years ago, when we were still working from our like office in uni, which was actually just a room in the uni, we would always try to find students who could help us out and everything. So this was also really good practice for us to have a real team and people to work with, working on different tasks and so on. But now having a real team, well, people who are here full time, part time, and everything else, it's really cool to see, and it's really nice to see how dedicated the people are to this dream that we've been building on for 2 years. Because I mean, we've been thinking about how to make this happen, and now it's just really nice to have people there to support us with the right skills, and that they really want to make this dream happen. Because I think everybody at Bondi, they really want to see Bondi succeed, and they really want it to work out. Yeah, so that's awesome.
That's cool. And is there anything that you do to get people that connected, or that you feel like there's maybe a certain culture that you create, why people are so well, I don't know, driven to work for you? Because it goes quite far, right? Like, I see people going with you to all sorts of cities. They sleep on the couch. They're like, that's true dedication. That's, yeah. It's not just a startup life anymore. It's like they're almost co-founders with you.
Yeah, I think it comes down to a lot of things. But we're quite strict in hiring, for one. So we definitely want to make sure that we have people who are really committed and ambitious, and believe in what it is that Bondi is trying to do. So we really try to pick these people out from the start. But also we do so much with the team already. Like we really try to have fun. I think in the company there's not much hierarchy, so you really can't see who's boss or something like that. It's like we're all quite young. We're all having fun together and trying to make this happen. And yeah, we support our team with different things. For example, our engineer, we're supporting him with his driver's license and so on. He loves driving, and like, yeah, we just really try to support them. And I think that's a big part of why they also want to help Bondi succeed, because they feel like they're really a part of this dream, and they really are. At the end of the day, we're all working together to make it happen. It's never just one person.
Yeah, it's really that family feeling. Like, we're all going for it. And is
Yeah.
there anything like that? Yeah, you do to specifically have fun, or like get that family feeling? Because I mean, I know you guys. I know that you do a lot of events. There's a lot of stuff going, but I'm just wondering how much real thought is behind this, or how much is just like, oh yeah, we just throw a party every week or something.
Well, there's definitely thought about it, and we learned a lot before starting the startup about how to kind of like set a good culture as well. But I think it's just it's in the things we do. Even when people join, we try to give them gifts, like Bondi themed stuff and so on. And yeah, all these events that we do together, we do try to do them. We don't do them as much as we used to when we didn't have bikes on the road, but we do try to do events with the team together where we can then all get together and have some fun. We're going to do one next week as well, which should be nice because I think we've all been quite stressed. But there's not a huge amount of thought into it. And I think also the environment that we have here, we have this big warehouse with a load of like random things in it. It just shows kind of the culture. Like we have a trampoline, we have the skateboards, the pool table.
Can you maybe give us a quick tour, like a very quick one?
Yeah, for sure. I think I can turn the camera. I'll just show. Is it a back camera now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just do a basic tour. So here we have the battery charging station. We use this cargo bike for swapping the batteries bikes in the streets. So it's really easy. They just come out like this through the app, and then we can swap it so it's charged again. We've got Corshake working over here. And like I mentioned, we have the pool table, the dartboard, I don't know, just random stuff. I mean, if you look around here, there's so much like just rubbish. It's a bit, I would even say dirty, but I think that's okay. It's a startup vibe.
Yeah, it looks cool, and it's cool you were able to get such a big space as well.
Yeah, we got really lucky with the space, to be honest, and I'm so happy for it. But Yeah, it's a shame I couldn't show the drawings we had on the wall before. Our landlord was pissed off, so cover that. Obviously.
I guess that also happens maybe sometimes when you have a bit too much fun, like doing weird stuff and drawing on walls, and yeah, then sometimes
Yeah,
so
yeah,
someone is coming. Yeah.
yeah. We are a bit shameless in the things we do, and I think so sometimes people don't like that too much. Sometimes for a bit more permission in advance.
Yeah, but I think that's just the fun that you like to have, right? And just, it's a startup. It's not the end of the world. If things go wrong, if we fail, it's just what we're doing is just having fun and doing something good for the world.
Yeah, but I think that's how a lot of startups these days are, because if you're having fun, then you want to be there and you want to work on this, and you're always going to make mistakes anyway, and then if you make these mistakes and have fun on the way, then you can still improve on them. So like this really helps startups get further. I think if they're having fun, if they're failing but everyone's like, oh well, we just try again, then they will succeed in the end as well.
Cool. I think that's a nice thing. Really nice. Max, you were talking about a business hack or tip that you have, right? And you mentioned something about a blanket, and again, I have no idea what this is about, but it would be really cool to share this with the group.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you said I should present something for business tips, so I didn't know what I can really show. But I brought a blanket, which resembles comfort, because I think a big tip maybe is to kind of get comfortable with taking risks, because in a startup you have to take so many risks, because you don't know what the future is going to hold. You don't know what is going to happen. So you need to just be really comfortable with taking these risks to get further, because if you don't take these risks, then you'll just get stuck, and then you won't get anywhere. And you really need to find a way where you're just okay with taking these risks, okay with failing, so that you can get further, and you should never be scared to take these risks. So I brought the blanket for comfort. That's my tip.
Nice. And it's there, I think, also for another reason. No?
Yeah, it's so I can sleep here in the evenings.
Yeah, because that still tended to happen sometimes.
Yeah, the landlord isn't watching.
Okay. Yeah, no, but I get that. I mean, you guys are on the road until like 11 or midnight sometimes, and it's just not always possible to make it home. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Should be comfortable at home as well, at work.
Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, just in the meantime, I wanted to show a message from Maisoon in the chat. She to reflect back on the work culture in Bondi. Maisoon, of course, is part of the Bondi team, and she's watching as well. And yeah, she confirms what we were speaking about.
Yeah, I think if you ask anyone in the Bondi team, I think they will feel the same way. They want to make this happen. It's for a good cause. Which we're really trying to make a big change. So it's something that a lot of people can kind of like hook onto as well.
Cool. Awesome. Well, if you're watching and you have a question or something to remark yourself as well for Max, it would be great to share it in the chat. And if not, then yeah, this will be almost the end of our little talk. But just so that people have a chance to maybe share something in chat, Max, I was wondering, like, what was the sort of the journey towards Bondi? Like, how did you come up with the idea and everything? What was the startup phase like?
Yeah, yeah. So I started Bondi with Chingiskhan in uni, but I think already it kind of started before that, essentially. So when we met in uni, we already saw that we're both quite active people who really like to kind of just do things and create things. We had like a student organization. We did lots of like charity projects, lots of event organization, and so on. And we both had this kind of passion for business that we wanted to start something. So we also did start some businesses where we were selling products online and so on, but we never really felt that there was enough impact. Just the standard, buying a product, putting your brand on it, and then selling it. We thought we could really do something bigger. And then we came across the shared car concept in the Netherlands for neighborhoods, where neighborhoods share one car together, so maybe 3 households. And we thought that was really cool, and that's really solving a big problem. But we wanted to kind of tackle this in a different way, and the more we looked into it, the more we wanted to be the operator. And like you mentioned before, we're really focused on fun. So we also think all these small electric vehicles are really fun, but they can also solve a big problem in cities. So you can really replace car trips with an electric bike. In future cities, there won't be a need to have a personal car because there'll just be so many options available, and we want to provide those options really. But we did so much research into this market. We talked with all the main companies that are out there, the top CEOs and everything as well. Which was quite funny because Chingiskhan has a YouTube channel where he interviews them, but this was a good way for us to kind of get a lot of information from them. So to ask them about their pain points and what's going well in the business, so that we could really create a plan for our business to not make the same mistakes that they had. But that was basically coming up with the idea. But the business itself, it's I just started with us two in the kitchen thinking of different ideas, but we just really fell in love with the idea, and just continuously we've been working on it. Like even when we had nothing, we always thought we were here, even though it was just an idea. When we were talking to people, we would talk as if we already have vehicles on the road and we know everything of what we're doing. And I think that really also helped people kind of get hooked onto the idea and want to support us, because we just really believed in this idea.
Yeah, I think that's extremely important, right? And that even if you feel like you're bluffing just a little bit at some point, it's important to get people along for the ride and to get them invested in the idea.
Yeah, well, in a way, it's I don't even feel like we're bluffing when we're talking about it, because we really believe we will get to this point, and if we can bring it out the way that we want to, we can really have a huge amount of impact. And we will get there, because we're comfortable with taking risks and failing, and then just learning from that and then adapting.
Nice.
So, but yeah, it's been a really fun journey, to be honest. The whole thing, and it's sometimes crazy to think just how far we've gotten in that amount of time as well.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's been a few years only, right, since you've been working on this?
Yeah. So we started early 2019 with like the basic idea, but then it's just developed along the way. But basically, since that point, I would say we've been working on it every day.
Nice. Cool, man. Any final things you want to share before we say goodbye for today?
Well, there's always the cliche one for entrepreneurs, like just don't give up. It's you'll hear a lot of negativity and people trying to put it down, or people not believing in what you're doing. But people always try to find negative things about everything. So it's just, if you believe in what you're doing, just keep going. Be a little bit stubborn. It's okay to be in your own ideas, as long as you're prepared to make the changes that are necessary. Yeah, you can succeed in anything really. And if you just keep believing in what you're doing and never give up, then yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, and it means something, I think, coming from you guys, right? Like, it hasn't all been easy, of course, and it sometimes may look like that, but there's still that whole journey that people haven't seen until where you are now.
Yeah.
So I would definitely recommend everyone to, if they don't follow you yet, well, follow Max and Chingiskhan and Bondi on LinkedIn, on Instagram. Is there anything else I'm forgetting?
TikTok. We're on TikTok as well.
TikTok. All right, awesome. And of course, to download the app if you're in one of the cities you're active in, which is currently just the Netherlands. But yeah, who knows? Maybe in a few years.
Yeah, we have plans for sure.
All right, Max. Thanks a lot. This was awesome. Thanks a lot for also making time for this such short notice as well. And yeah, I hope we can do it again in some time and see where you are then.
Sounds good. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Cool.
Yep.
And also, if you are watching this and you are wondering, like, oh, who's this Mark guy and what is KREW? Well, we are a community of entrepreneurs that are all very driven and all very willing to help each other. And if you want, you can fill out the form in this link to get on the wait list for a KREW. And what that means is basically that you will join a group of entrepreneurs that meet once a month at least for dinner, for drinks, and to exchange knowledge. So if you're curious, fill out the form and we'll just get back to you and then you can just try it out. We had some fun sessions as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. All right, Max. Thanks a lot again. And well, see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.